Hello and welcome to a guide on how to climb Ranmore Hill. So Ranmore Common is a climb in Surrey. Decent climb used in the Ride London. 1.5 kilometres, 7% average. It has ramps of up to 15%. So here we go, give it a GoPro footage as we have. So here we are, you turn left off, can't remember the road. Anyway, you turn left onto the thing, go past these houses, and this is where the climb begins. Pretty easy to begin with, like 2-3%. If you're really going, it's probably big ring here, maybe. But yeah, nice climb. Probably about 5 minutes full gas if you're really going for it. I've never actually gone full gas the whole thing. I normally go after hit the house where it gets a bit steeper. I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, it's in terms of gearing, it's like probably doable in almost like a 39-28 maybe. Well, probably if you're going fast enough. I had a 36-28 today, and it was a bit hard at the end because I wasn't going completely full gas. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, there should be the gradient on the left hand side. Not sure if it's accurate, don't think it really is, but anyway, it's a decent climb. Quite enjoy it, to be honest. One of my favourites, I'm sorry. Just because it's like it actually gets a bit steep. Like Box Hill is harder. A lot depends on the wind. As you can see, another cyclist going down. But yeah, so at the beginning I'm just, chilling out, maybe like 200, 240 watts, nothing crazy. I weigh 60 kilos, so that's like 4 watts per kilo or so, nothing mental. But yeah, it's quite a narrow road. When you see in Ride London, it's often strung out. Like, I think this year, Sky really strung it out, and then there was an attack at the top. But yeah, no, it's a nice climb. The road surface is quite bad, especially towards the top, and like when it's wet, like it was today, there's a lot of tyre slippage if you're getting out the saddle and sort of giving it big power, so you just have to be wary of that. But mainly I think most people can get up this climb. In order to go fast, so I think here we go up to the house you'll see on the right, and there's a hill climb which starts just here, and this is one of the segments I normally go for. It's a bit more manageable, it's about 3 minutes. But yeah, as you can see, it's like here it's still relatively flat. When you're going full gas, you're going like 30-35 k's an hour down on this part. It doesn't really ramp up to the end. The thing with this is that it has like multiple ramps, so it's quite easy to get confused and think you're near the end, but actually you're not. But yeah, big fan of this climb. During Ride London, it was quite amazing to watch how much faster they go, especially during the end, like they're in the big ring, going like 30 k's an hour, up like 15% gradient, which has been nuts. But yeah, it's not too busy either, mainly because it doesn't really go anywhere. It's quite sheltered by the trees, so I think my speed ends up being completely wrong, which is a bit annoying because it uses the GPS. But yeah, sorry for any shakeage on the camera footage. That's me getting out the saddle. But yeah, it's pretty easy. I think, yeah, if you were a beginner, could you get up the climb? Probably if you had a 34, 32 on the back. It's not super hard and you pace yourself. Just know at the beginning, don't go too hard. This is where it starts to get a bit steeper. It says it's 4%, I think, but it's a bit steeper than that. It's more like 6 or 7 now. But this is what I mean. It's like it sort of goes on straight, and you think you can see the end. The hairpin, you'll see in a bit. There's a hairpin that's coming up, which is where it really gets quite steep. So yeah, here we're up to 10%, which is probably about right. But yeah, it's a nice climb, pretty cash. In order to go full gas up this part, you need to sort of pace yourself at the beginning, but you want to come into that bottom corner with quite a lot of speed, and then just hold it on basically, and then really give it your all at this part here. This is where you can make a lot of time up. And here we go, this is the hairpin, I think. Oh no, it's not. This is where you get confused. You think it's the hairpin now, but the hairpin comes up a bit later. And it's not like a nice alpine hairpin. It's like really steep. Like on the inside, it's too steep really to cycle up without putting a massive spike of power. So it's better to sort of go around the edge, as you'll see in a bit, which is what I do. Yeah, I think the KOM for the whole thing is about 3 or 4 minutes, something like that. About 7.4 watts per kilo, I think, something like that. So that's quite insane power. But I think even then, being in a peloton helps you quite a lot in terms of the bottom part. Like, you could really motor along. It's only the last part where it's more comparable if you were like an amateur rider trying to get a good time on Strafs, because it's steep enough so that the draft doesn't matter as much. Yeah, so here we go. Here's the hairpin. So we finally reached the end part of the steep. So basically, once you get to the hairpin, it's the end of the steep part. So here we go. I go a long way around, and then I cut in too much here. Actually, I should have rounded out a little bit more. It would have probably saved me some time. But yeah, I was pushing some alright numbs there. This is the part where it's really easy to sort of think it's done, but it continues on just for a little bit. Well, at least the Strava segment does. The actual climb is pretty much over now. It's not really very steep anymore, and you can just sort of cruise out if you're not going for a Strava time. But if you're going for a Strava time, you really got to hit the end part, this part here, and really go all the way to the end. This part is always super annoying because it's not fast enough to really like sprint and get in the big ring, but at the same time you sort of feel like you should be sprinting from the hairpin, but it's just a little bit too long, which is a bit annoying. So you end up just sort of dying, and it's quite easy to give up a little early because the segment finishes. I'll show you where it finishes. So you can see there's sort of the road turns to the right, and it basically finishes right here. But no, sorry, it doesn't. It finishes, yeah, as soon as you turn right, which means it's super easy to give up. And but you just have to keep pushing to the end.